lineup, but rightfully so, we will see IG switching over to the blue side. Top Esports will be on the red side. You immediately get the Aurora slinking on through and pick up first.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that it's really easy for IG to just reset after that game. That's one of those that you can go, we lost at level 1. Happens. Don't lose at level 1 this game, and then they can carry on like that. But it would be good to see the IG squad have an actual good showing of things against this top esports roster. Our expectations coming out of the group were that IG would be able to sort of slam their way through it. They did pretty much that. It'd be a shame if they got 2-0'd out of this competition without a really fair and competitive game. And I don't think that game number 1 is in any way indicative of what IG as a roster of 5 players are capable of doing.
Oh, the Viktor was still open though. Oh man, I mean, I guess you have to choose one, the Aurora or the Viktor, but now we have the 5 Viktor combination, so a lot of setup for Kanavi, and if they want to flex this Viktor, it still is a possibility too.
Absolutely. I think that this is probably a triple flex. If I'm reading Viktor correctly, you can play in bot, mid, and top. So any of the carries that fancy Viktor can probably just pick it up and take it. So we'll see whether it ends up in Creme's hands or elsewhere on the top esports map. The Aurora, again, also likely to be that top lane pick for TheShy, which dissuades you intrinsically from picking a melee top laner. It might actually lend itself a little bit more to putting that Viktor up on that top side, just so you can try and match the rate a little bit. But we'll prevent ourselves from going into the nuances specifically until we've got too much more information. Support locked in for IG, and I think that this rounds out what is already a composition that can engage very well. You've now got that firm go button in the Leona to try and find an isolated target.
And it gives Meiko a little bit more shot calling direction on the team. I mean, obviously the Alistar does that as well, but you have a little bit more options in terms of how many CC combos you can put down as Meiko. So we'll see if that is going to be kind of the unlocking factor for this team. But going into this one, we do get the Maokai also locked in. Really like the utility that this pick still brings with the saplings and things like that and the area control.
And we've seen it rise to the top lane as well, both sort of literally in terms of its position on the map, but figuratively in terms of its presence as well. Sort of got left by the wayside in the jungle a little bit toward the end of the last season, but with the emergence of these new tank items that are just absolutely obnoxious to try and play against, Maokai has shown his face up on that top side. I think it's going to be a difficult matchup for him versus an Aurora in that top side, and it's worth mentioning there's a chance that it can get flexed down to Crisp in that support role, but we've seen a lot of success from our Maokai top so far.
Yeah, I do not mind it anywhere it goes, honestly. We are getting a little bit of bot lane focus right now from IG in the second phase with the Ezreal ban. We also get a little bit of focus from Top Esports in the second phase with the Kai'Sa ban, but also the Sylas ban there. So taking away maybe some of Rookie's potential picks there if they do want to give the Aurora up to TheShy. I will say Rookie is a pretty nasty Aurora too, though. We'll see what the final ban is going to be from IG.
And there's still, you know, things like LeBlanc open. Viktor's early game didn't get much better. It just got so that he gets to his late game a little bit faster with the changes that came to him. If you're looking for a lane bully to try and bully out a Viktor early on, you know, there's a couple of options still open, still ready for Rookie if they want. And with all of these flex picks for Top Esports, they've got now to try and decide, are they going to reveal that, or if they just lock in their bot lane, they'd probably keep themselves still relatively flexible with what they go for.
I'm all about Jhin, baby, but I'm not a big fan of Jhin into Leona. We'll see, though. It is JackeyLove, and it does provide a lot of utility to the rest of the composition. Maybe some follow-up cleanup damage, too, but still open season in bot lane for what IG want to draft into the Jhin.
Yeah. I mean, this now says that I'm more inclined to put this Maokai at the support role, because you want triple carries on the top side when you're playing Jhin, because he's typically a lower damage carry than the rest of the AD carries, so you want damage coming out of the other roles that would typically do that damage. Maokai playing on that top side doesn't really fit the brief of what you want with a Jhin. It adds, don't get me wrong, so much setup, but they might not have the full amount of damage that they're going to need to carry themselves through a composition. We'll wait and see, though. They've still got that 5th pick to see what they're going to round it out with. And it does look like IG going to look to flex around this Aurora as well, keeping that until the very final pick and put it in the hands of Rookie.
I really liked Rookie's Aurora. I think he has a really good idea of how to use the Between Worlds. Very, very excited to see it back in his hands. Also, a little bit more safety drafted for Gala in this kind of situation, and being able to use that Featherstorm as a defensive option in a lot of cases. see this interesting setup. But then you also have TheShy, who's going to be piloting the Ksante. Very excited to see his kind of weight he can move around on that one. But the final pick is the Bard locked in for Chris.
Okay. So you already highlighted in game number 1 that Crisp, a player that typically likes to go and roam, Bard, made to roam, quite literally, was designed with this roam style in mind. Maybe we'll get to see Crisp experience a little bit more out on Summoner's Rift this time around, and it have a little bit more impact on how the game is going to go. I am kind of worried for this top esports composition, though. I won't lie. I think that the damage profile of Vi, Viktor, Jhin versus a Ksante specifically, they could struggle to try and get through the tankiness that we've already seen picked up by IG. So, you know, maybe they can prove me wrong, and maybe they can snowball early enough so that the Ksante doesn't really get tanky enough, and they can find a quick 2-0 and give it a swift send into the semi-finals. But if we reach that late game, hyper late game, I'm really worried for how the Ksante can probably just dumpster the majority of this top composition.
At this point, IG, just stay in base until the minions spawn. Walk out with the minions. It'll be okay. No, but in actuality, if IG do lose this one, Top Esports will go on to the semifinals to be facing up against TT as well, the winner from earlier series that we saw tonight. But it's something also where IG have already played in the group stage. They had a little bit of momentum going into this one, and we haven't necessarily seen them connect on the same level that Top Esports has. So that's where we look to the combination of Jiejie and Rookie in this one in particular to have a lot more say in how IG are going to be playing the game.
And I think that they've definitely got the tools to be able to do that as well, right? It's not like they've gone completely out the window with their picks. They should have chances this game.
They should indeed. We're going to be getting game 2 right now as we are headed into it. The Top Esports advantage in that game number 1, far from what we're looking at right now. And going to be a lot of fun to see these two go at it again, maybe on a little bit more even footing here. Big eyes on Jiejie versus Kanavi in this game too.
A little bit more agency for both junglers as well through these early stages as well. I mean, I'd probably give it a little bit more so to Kanavi just based on the champions that they've picked. But there's no level 6 gating for Jiejie this time around, right? He's got Wukong, who you can definitely brawl on pre-level 6. You can look for those fights, and now it's about scouting out, seeing who's going for a lane swap. You can see that JackeyLove and Crisp are sort of sat equidistant from bot and top to try and hope that they can either match up, which is what I would imagine they want to do, with the bot lane, and find themselves in a good position versus Gala and Meiko.
I want to see what this mid lane looks like, man. It's Rookie's Aurora versus Creme with probably one of the most busted champions right now. Let's see. Although we did see him lose earlier. We'll see exactly what happens between this mid lane, because I feel like it could be one of those things where mid lane is what gets a little bit more attention here, as we're going to get to zoom in on JackeyLove with the cool Jhin chroma.
We're very happy. Definitely excited to see what the Jhin can do this game. I think that it's got a difficult task ahead of it without having, you know, super carries in all of its other areas of the map. It means that JackeyLove is going to have to be a carry in his own right as well, and do some damage. But to give a bit of a condensed version, as we see level 2s hit down on that bot side for Crisp, of what this new Viktor does in case you missed it, root hits.
Okay, they get a lot of damage here. The health trade is not working out for IG down in bot lane.
Really solid performance so far. This is why you can see JackeyLove and Chris wanted to match up, because Bard versus Leona are a very good matchup for the Bard. Jhin, typically a pretty decent lane bully as well, versus Xayah, who's got short range and can struggle in her laning phase matchup. So really good that so far Top Esports are already forcing a good advantage early on.
Kanavi going to be spotted as he goes in for an invade. Jiejie going to play a little bit more apprehensively because of that one. Crisp does spot out. Jiejie has started up the Prugs, but the red buff will be started up by Kanavi. So playing a lot of that aggression we saw in game number 1, now in game number 2.
And Creme already having a whale of a time in this mid lane versus Rookie. You can see, so 17-6 as your CS, and you know, just a couple of missed spells from Rookie that we saw early on has really been the gateway for Creme to now be able to absolutely open up an advantage in that mid lane. Viktor, not a champion that we expect to find those early advantages, but one that has so far.
Ooh, really nice buffering there by Crisp as he goes through the magical journey. There was a 3v3 brewing. JackeyLove had that fourth shot ready to go, but doesn't follow it up. 369 having a little bit of trouble up here in the top side. Wonder if they're going to send any help here, but Kanavi and Jiejie just going at it now in the jungle as Creme will be first to move over, getting a lot of poke damage onto him, but he does have the clone to get away. JackeyLove getting in range. Deadly Flourish connects the flash from Kanavi, and it's Creme that gets first blood. Beautiful combinations.
It's a perfect team-wide kill. It's set up by Creme and Kanavi. Crisp gives the magical journey to JackeyLove so he can get in range of the Deadly Flourish to allow for a second rotation of Kanavi spells to take down Jiejie. It is exquisite from top, and they're not looking to be finished with that one. I thought that we were going to see Kanavi go top lane, but even still, that was beautiful.
That got me giddy, man. Like that is just like crisp A+ League of Legends. And when you put a team like this together for top esports, that's the kind of stuff you're like, I know we're doing the right thing here. And I really, really can't wait to see the ceiling that this team has in 2025. We're already getting plays like that early on here in Demacia Cup of all things. We are going to see a continuation of the roams from the supports. We are going to see a little bit of a different take than the last game because obviously it was a little bit rambunctious in that way, but Meiko and Chris should be a lot more in their regular stance of getting a lot of team effort and team help out on the Rift.
Absolutely. And again, this replay is everybody playing as perfectly as possible. Everybody needed to sync up and do the right thing here. Otherwise, this kill doesn't happen. And it's a combination of all four members on the map knowing exactly what the correct play was, coming together to find first blood. And again, it going on to your Viktor, it is the best place for it to go. You're finding this champion, which is going to be your hyper carry as the game gets later on. Getting first blood in its back pocket, already now 2 stacks on that Dark Seal, and accelerating those Viktor books. They're going to be coming in a little bit sooner, so he's going to get his E-evolve even quicker, which means that his laning phase becomes even safer. He was already having a good time versus Rookie, but if you can continually shove those waves in, that can extend into roaming and helping out on the rest of the map as well.
Get a little bit dicey on bot lane too. Meiko went for the Zenith blade, and Chris popped the magical journey early. Creme getting a little bit of pressure from Jiejie in mid lane. Grubs have spawned. Dragon is up. Kanavi's already on bot side. Would imagine this would mean that they're going to be trading sides of the map. Deadly Flourish going a little bit wide from JackeyLove.
Good dodge from Gala as well. Able to get away from the Cosmic Binding, but still you can see Creme not really using his laser to push in the waves just yet, and more so for harass as Kanavi started up this dragon, doesn't have the prior from bot lane, but JackeyLove clears out that wave, is going to make his way over. I think that the prior from mid lane, and also the fact that Jiejie is currently taking the grubs on top side, means that they're probably going to get this Drake.
Yeah, they're just going to have to trade this one, but you do really like the early grubs for IG, at least getting a little bit more of something than they did in that game number 1. There was the Chaos Storm used in mid lane. Rookie's trying to clear that wave as much as possible. But this also gives a little bit more of an even footing when you come to that next spawn of grubs for IG. And we didn't actually see that kind of bot lane swaparoo that we've been seeing in almost every game as Meiko actually connects here onto JackeyLove. Not going to find too much of it.
Yeah, I thought there was an opportunity to burn Cleanse there, but Gala just wasn't quite close enough to get the pullback on the feathers, which would have rooted JackeyLove and then maybe forced him into a more scary situation. But he's quite happy at the minute, just takes a little bit of damage. He's got fleet footwork, has got 3 biscuits in his back pocket as well, so worst case scenario, he can pop those and be absolutely fine. Making sure, though, that he's still collecting that farm. A little bit down on CS, but when you've got, your mid lane going so well, you're not really too worried about that.
Love to see some back and forth between these two junglers. The two that we put a lot of focus on going into this one, which I feel like at this point, rightfully so, Kanavi getting the MVP of game number 1. But the fact that Jiejie is just not backing down in a lot of these situations, like even though Kanavi is getting some invades off, Jiejie is also going for a lot of those invades and trying to use that map pressure. And I'm very curious if that's actually going to amount to things, because now that we're getting to 8 minutes, we're going to be getting to the next spawn of objectives and things like that. The skirmishing is going to take an uptick, and we're going to have ultimates available.
I think the timing here for Jiejie is really solid because he's got 2 minutes 40 before what looks like to be those next set of grubs spawns, 3 minutes before the Drake spawns. He can go do a full clear of his jungle if he'd like to, and then find himself, with as much farm as he can get, make sure that he's then as strong as possible, and then look out onto the map before he finds a fight, as he's actually pathed up to that top side. Instead, he's looking for Creme in the mid lane, who has no flash for another 10-15 seconds or so.
They really want him. Between Worlds comes down to get the slowdown on a Creme. He's locked out and dragged out. Jiejie gets a response kill for IG.
Perfect. No flash on the Viktor. They'd make the most of it and find a kill back. So exactly what you're looking for, really. Meiko burns the flash, gets on in there. Rookie goes in with the in-between worlds and manages a really solid execution on the Viktor.
Really, really nicely timed. I know Creme is going to be wishing he had that flash available for him. You see the play, at least the replay that happened in top lane, 369 losing his flash in that trade. It's actually pretty big.
Yeah, not over at all just yet, despite the fact that that early game kill did go the way of top esports. So far, nothing really else that they've been able to get away with. And again, to talk about their composition, what we expect from it is we're looking very exclusively at this Viktor to be an actual DPS threat as we get later on. Yes, you're going to have a Jhin, and Jhin can deal damage if he's hitting squishies. Don't get me wrong; those crits can be devastating. But the second he starts, hitting Ksantes, you really feel it's the opposite.
Is the Featherstorm going to be forced out of Gala because of that deadly flourish?
And now moving up to this top side, we've got 50 seconds on those grubs, so an opportunity for another big fight.
I do wonder if they're actually going to be able to use some of this utility, because I think the worries from draft that you were talking about and kind of the damage profile from top esports starting to show a little bit. They didn't really get much of a lead down in bot side, so Jhin definitely going to be even more on the back foot of damage. But you can see they're going to try to force contest over these grubs, and honestly, rightfully so. I mean, at this point, they're both very on even terms in their skirmishing potential for both teams.
Yeah, they definitely should. Top esports here should be looking to find as many fights as possible, keep that Jhin, and using the sort of power that we expect JackeyLove to be having right now as present as possible. So moving them up to the top side, moving the Jhin and the Bard in, is pretty much what we're looking for. They are able to take away a plate in the mid lane as well, and it looks like with the way that the setup has gone so far, top esports are going to begin this, but you see Jiejie sniffing around. He doesn't quite want to let this go without anything, and you can see actually that JackeyLove and Crisp have positioned themselves on the other side of this pit. They take one away to deny 6, but IG immediately in there to respond.
Yeah, I mean, at least you deny the 6. I don't think there's going to be anything else that comes of it right now. IG just in the stronger position, especially with the way that TheShy has been playing and getting that first item, Spirit Visage. It's going to be very hard to deal with in the side lane for sure.
Yeah, and I think that this is just a really good example of why this damage profile for top esports is going to struggle, because TheShy can just build Spirit Visage this game and go into a little bit more MR. He's going to always be laning versus either Creme or 369, who are both magic damage dealers. JackeyLove, granted, might kill him a little bit faster, but there's still so much HP for the Jhin to try and get through versus a Ksante that you don't think that, I don't really see that DPS threat being enough to be able to out DPS what is going to have Wukong on top of him, Aurora as well.
Oh, Crisp getting completely caught out too. Just immediately face checks a bush, and Meiko is waiting right there for him.
And again, really solid performance from Meiko, just layering the CC nicely. And that's pretty much all that there is to it. When you find Crisp out and about like that, you've got 3 people lurking around nearby, face checking a bot side that you didn't really have access to. Great collapse. And now they're looking for another fight, but again, they don't have numbers.
I don't think he wants to go for that one. It's a little crazy. And it is going to be Jiejie who claims it, although they got the full combo onto Meiko, but Jiejie just finds the backline here. You got TP coming as well. They did get 1 kill already onto Meiko. There's a nice little tempered fate. The Chaos Storm is ticking away. Gala's going to use the Feather Storm. They got the lockdown, and Crisp is gone down. Now 369 going to come in with the Nature's Grasp. This might just be a good turn. Creme has been untouched this entire time, and it's top esports trying to make the plays. This is where Jhin succeeds when he can cut a clean house. Deadly Flourish going to go through there, and here comes the shot from the curtain call.
Just takes him down, sniper to the back of the head. A close fight overall. I believe it's IG that come away with maybe just an extra kill overall, but They also got the dragon, which was the important part that they were looking for. And just a bit of a precursor for things to come, I think, there, Mazel. It was overall close enough fight. Everybody throwing their hands, couple good skill shots, some really good mechanics, and that was all that we needed to get from this. Not a massive advantage garnered either way, as we saw Jiejie immediately onto Creme, but has to back away because he's solo for that time being. Crisp does a great job here at catching Rookie and almost catching Gala as well. And then it's a really unfortunately timed Cosmic Binding from Crisp as Gala was in the Featherstorm. Doesn't quite catch out the Xayah. That could have turned the whole fight even more so.
Yeah, it was on a knife's edge there in a lot of cases. And the fact that Gala was able to weave in a decent amount of damage there was pretty nice. TheShy actually gets a nice little play here as well. Unfortunately, JackeyLove was waiting to use that curtain call, and the CC did connect. But now we get back into it. Things are still tense. There's a Rift Herald up and started by IG. Top Esports are nearby, and they are collapsing all members.
We'll Kanavi goes in.
Off. They get the Solar Flare onto 2 members as well. IG forced out of the fight, though.
But look who's on the bot side, unchecked at the minute. It's TheShy getting a turret down on that bot side. So even if Top Esports find themselves a turret with this Rift Herald, it's only going to be net neutral in the long run of things, because TheShy, without any TPs on top, is going to be able to take this turret. It might take him an extra wave, but he's going to be able to get this turret, and it's going to be isolated. It's going to be solo as well. Whereas with that Rift Herald going down, it's actually onto the Vise.
Oh
we see
God.
Rookie.
Tempered Fate. Oh, he tried to jump through, got the Between Worlds there. Oh, no, Chris doesn't connect it, but it doesn't matter. They just use everything. Every ultimate, you can just throw at Rookie, and you finally take him down.
Okay, and now the play becomes positive for Top Esports. They get a turret without putting that Rift Herald down. Likelihood is that they can use the Herald to break open that mid-tier 1, or at the very least put some good damage down. TheShy gets forced away, and nothing more to come from that top side play. It's a solid overall venture for Top Esports, and you can see the theory from Rookie there. He's going to pop the ulti, go from one side to the other, finds an easy escape, but the Tempered Fate just barely timed well enough so that he can't do both. The ulti runs out on the clock, and he's not able to walk back and get to the other side of the sphere.
It's actually so big brain by Crisp, and you know,
yeah.
We get to see little moments like that from a former world champion. A lot of world champions in this game, by the way.
Many.
But, you know, yeah, many. We'll see, though, if that experience is going to lend to anything. If IG can make this series a series, and not just have it be a 2-0 sweep from Top Esports. So far, so good. They've gotten at least the Dragon split there, but they have the 5 grubs for themselves. They're on even footing against Top Esports in a lot of these fights. Biggest worry I have right now, though, Creme is getting very scary.
Yeah, and he's not really being checked either in these fights, as we're once again going for a play.
I actually just try to get TheShy over here, hoping that Creme has enough damage, but TheShy is pretty tanky. Had that Spirit Visage start. The Chaos Storm is doing serious work to his health, though, as Creme gets engaged on with the all-out. TheShy is trying to make everything happen, but he is left with a little bit of shielding. One more, and welcome back, because Creme just smoked the whole pack. As now we got the double engage with the Cyclone here on the Top Esports' mid lane fight. JackeyLove unfortunately falls prey to just being a Jhin, and Meiko will claim the kill on his former AD.
They might want more, they might want more.
Dude, 369 just ends Gala's life. Meanwhile, you got Rookie popping up between worlds to get the action started. TP is going to be onto the Rift Herald, and Creme is coming in, has so much damage, and he just obliterates Jiejie.
And with the Rift Herald as well, that will be the tier 1 turret going down. 2 kills over to IG, but 3 in total over to top. They find the solo in the top side onto TheShy. They find 2 return kills in the mid lane as well as the mid tier 1. Top Esports, despite all of these worries that we had about how this composition would function, would it be able to deal enough damage? So far, the answer is still yes.
Turns out the answer is a glorious evolution, and we see Creme and Kanavi starting this one off in top lane. TheShy gives them a run for their money.
I mean, he's 2 levels up on both of them here. This is a really dangerous spot for Creme and Kanavi to be in, because his Omnivamp from the ulti is massive. And then again, Q3 comes through. Creme has to flash one of the follow-up Qs, and IG by no means having lost that fighter out of this game. Gold lead is still within 1,000, and the majority of that is sat on Creme. this Viktor, who we've touted as being maybe one of the most OP champions on the patch, is currently living up to that. He's got all of the gold leads so far for his team and needs to be the carry to see this game through.
They just need to find a way to play around him. A true test for a combination that's going to be new and unfolding in Kanavi and Creme, but something that we can look to with excitement because of the way that these two guys play. That has a lot of weight on Creme's shoulders here, as we saw another dragon go the way of IG. They're marching their way towards an Infernal Soul. Both these teams going to love that buff for the style they have. Nature's Grasp pulled off by 369. They're just trying to go for the fight. Nice block with the clone by Jiejie. 369 a little bit over eager, but he still is a very tanky tree walking through the forest.
And to mention again, to sort of pull back what we've been highlighting for the majority of this series, that Kanavi's sort of embellishment into this roster has seemingly gone very well to begin with. 7 assists out of 8 kills coming down in this game. And the same to be said, honestly, for Jiejie as well. He came out of game number 1, obviously, with a very, very rough loss, honestly, but this time round has been much more present on the map, has been going blow for blow with Kanavi as well when we're looking at these team fights, and I think that so far this sort of battle of the minds in the jungle is holding up hope.
Oh, Meiko in a lot of trouble. He did not expect that much damage to come down. Nice solar flare onto JackeyLove, though. JackeyLove's completely caught, and it was all a dupe. It's Meiko that baited the entirety of top esports. They thought they can make a play. Gala tries to make his own play with the Featherstorm, but unfortunately was a little bit wide, and that's a big play from IG.
That was it. That was Gala thinking about flashing forward and then realizing it's probably not worth it just to find a pick that won't amount to anything, but now they want more.
They know that Gala doesn't have any defensive resources except for potentially his flash. They're going to try to find a play here. Passing laser beam by Creme. TheShy is still very tanky. Now that he's finished his second item as well. Jiejie and Rookie. This combination that we really wanted to see. They are just roaming the entire map together, and they're going to look to take a side lane turret.
And this is what you can do with all of those grubs, right? They managed 5 of them, so they can just whittle down this turret nice and easily. Find themselves a quick kill off onto this tier 1 turret. A little bit of extra gold injected into their back pockets, and that's not likely going to be responded to. On the bot side, you can see Creme pushing that wave in, but TheShy's there a little bit faster. He's going to be able to catch that wave. The response from the rest of the team as well from top esports, they're not going to be able to help out at all, as TheShy can clear this out quite easily. And I think that diving TheShy here, especially with Gala as backup, is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, it's not the play whatsoever. I think top esports realized a little bit too late, but they do end up making it away. You had Gala moving down the way as well, so potentially being able to provide a little bit of backup. Gala doesn't have anything but his flash and cleanse and still walking up there in the jungle, trying to stop them from taking this red buff.
And they're just sort of jostling for position around an objective that spawns in a minute's time. So the groundwork for a late going to take place as Creme here spotted.
Try to go for the solar flare. Jiejie flashes.
Wow.
Okay. As they go for the Nature's Grasp now, there's the Deadly Flourish with the Curtain Call combo. Lands on a 3! Fourth shot, not enough. It's blocked by TheShy, but Kanavi still claims the kill. Temper Fate going a little bit wide. Featherstorm used. Beautiful Blade Caller right back at Kanavi's life is forfeit. Rookie trying to find the big combo. 2-fold Hex, and they get the damage there straight onto 369 too, who actually finds another little Bramble Smash. It still falls down to Rookie, who gets a 500+ gold shutdown, and that is IG running away with this game. 22 minutes in, they're on to the Baron.
And running straight towards the Baron buff as well here. Mazel TP coming back in from Creme. He's going to have full mana, full HP, and still has that ulti. Going to be difficult for JackeyLove to really contribute. This is the Creme show through and through. 1 versus 4 with a little bit of help from a Jhin.
Can he do it? Chaos Storm in there doing some work. Can he do something? Can he get any kills? Can he get anything? He doesn't get the Baron, and IG make it out alive.
And there we have it. The compositional differences of these two teams really starting to come to the forefront. JackeyLove is DPSing that entire fight, it feels like, whether it's with his ulti, whether it's just with auto attacks. And there's just not enough in the tank for them. Meiko, not the target that you should be looking for particularly. It's great to take the support out, don't get me wrong. But as soon as Kanavi goes in onto Gala, he gets Featherstormed here, and he's just left in no man's land. TheShy shunts him one way, he gets rooted in place, and all of a sudden, it's completely over. Rookie with a 4-man ulti there as well, puts Crisp and JackeyLove onto 1 HP, so they've got to back out as well. And even though he's trying to auto-attack, it's still onto a Ksante, and now more fighting!
369's by himself. He's going low, but he's still kicking. He's still alive. And you have Creme able to provide so much backup there. They try to get Creme with TheShy there. Jiejie is trying to work over his own way. They still have 2 minutes on the Baron buff here to try to siege down this outer turret.
Oh, I don't know about this TP. It's a bit ambitious.
Bold. That is very, very bold. 369 comes out of it and runs immediately away. He just got back. He's going to be losing a chunk of his health as Kanavi needs to get away on the other side. Tempered Fate goes wide again, and Crisp just can't hit the combination. They're trying to get into the choke point so that Creme's Chaos Storm can do work, but now they have to reset through mid lane prio.
And now they're looking for a mid fight as well.
Kanavi almost gets caught. Deadly Flourish actually provides a lot of spacing here. They actually get the Chaos Storm down, and now it's starting to grow, and we're starting to see Viktor do what Viktor does. He gets a little bit more damage down. Now Gala is going to pop the Feather Storm on the side. Jiejie goes for a little bit of healing. 369 is trying to find him. TheShy is taking a 1v2, turn into a 1v3. He cannot find anything, and JackeyLove takes him down with a clean shot, and that's Dragon 2 to top esports.
They find the fight they need here. Mazel slow and steady. They're able to whittle down the health bars of TheShy, of Meiko. Find 2 kills for themselves. They put a stop to the Baron push. There's one tier 1 turret that falls in favor of IG, but they lose the Dragon and they lose 2 members. That Baron is going to be stopped and halted right there. Another very close fight. Again, playing on these margins. Meiko goes just a little bit too far forward, and Kanavi's flash buys all the space that it needs to. Gravity Well plus Chaos Storm combo is still just as deadly even post-rework, and JackeyLove's sniping skills have not been tarnished either. TheShy does his absolute best at trying to corral the team down and keep as much damage up as possible, and even with catching Creme once again, still 2 levels up over this jungle mid duo. The JackeyLove 4th shot comes through and is enough to round out another fight.
Oh man, it is top esports not wanting us to give any hope to IG. Every time IG start to get a little bit ahead, start to find a little bit of something, top esports not. We're still hanging with the best of them. And Creme putting on a massive performance after a very quiet game number 1 in a game that was not quiet whatsoever. Now able to take this Viktor and turn it all around. 10 stacks on the Dark Seal is massive, but trying to keep that afloat.
Yeah, and working towards that Void Staff as well. He's pretty much itemizing for TheShy. He's gone for double burn into penetration as best as possible, getting his consistent DPS across onto Gala, onto the squishies. It's not going to feel as impactful as you've got this sort of one-shot-esque Viktor build, but this is the best way for top to win these team fights, because you can build Jhin with 7 Blade of the Ruin Kings. You're not getting through a Ksante anytime soon. So it's up to Creme to be the tank shred, and that's what he's doing with this build.
You'll love to see it. A little bit of strategizing within the game. Now we get a little positioning over mid lane. There is no objectives up for a while, so we're literally just going for a little bit of map positioning here. See so many traps around for top esports, and this is a situation we've gotten to where both teams are literally just waiting for the timers. They're going to try to get as much inside lanes as they can, but they want the 5-on-5s or trying to catch out stragglers.
And I think that both mid laners this game are having absolutely stellar performances. Rookie might have gone maybe a little bit under the radar for game number 1 due to how it ended up playing out, but I think this game has been a really large component of why IG are fighting so competitively. Multiple ultimates have hit several people on the team, and you can see they're sniffing out. They think that there's somebody in that bot brush that they could have gone for, but Rookie has been instrumental in these team fights in making sure that they are competitive.
Yeah, I mean, he's the major reason why they've been able to turn around a lot of those. And I said it in draft. I think Rookie's mindset when he plays the Aurora, the spacing that he can provide, and kind of the way that he finds entrances into fights is next level. Obviously, Rookie is next level in general, but being able to see him on this pick and kind of pick apart team fights is a treat. And now he's going to be almost on 3 items as well. Have a lot of that burst damage available to him.
Because with all the mobility, Aurora does become a very mechanically intensive champion as well. So when you're seeing people, think of mechanics that you just never thought of before. Like, okay, I'm going to put the in-between worlds down, great. And then I'm going to go through that portal to be on top of JackeyLove and Crisp to then double combo them with my actual damage spells. Again, they've probably been done before, but seeing it in a competitive setting and making it accessible is always very difficult.
Uh-oh, Meiko. They're not gonna fall for the bait that time, Rude. They're not gonna do it. They'd fall for that maybe 3 times now already in this game. They're not gonna do it.
I do think now Gala's just gone back to base, finished up his Infinity Edge. Now there is a second threat of DPS that top esports really need to be worried about. Xayah on 2 items doesn't hit the same. Xayah on 3 items with an Infinity Edge can be lethal. Now we're waiting for that 4th item. I'd say has to be the Lord Doms or the Mortal Reminder component now, excuse me, where you're looking for a bit of anti-healing, you're looking for that tank shred, because getting through a Maokai period is going to be pretty tricky, and albeit this is a Maokai who's itemized very minimal armor so far, but it's still tricky for Gala to try and get through that.
And the Crypt Bloom also completed for Rookie. The biggest thing also, I guess, in the way that Gala can approach these fights is the way that top esports finds a pick is the kind of full-on dive. Like Kanavi has to run them down, and Gala's going to have a field day if you run straight into his Featherstorm Blade Caller combo. IG, speaking of, trying to make a play there. Deadly Flourish is going to connect. At least they get a little bit slowing down. The gravity field has been used. So IG, they could look for a play. Meiko a little bit unhealthy into this fight, but Dragon is spawning now.
369 doing the exact right thing, though, using the saplings to scout every single brush so that the rest of the top don't actually need to. Chris walks into Meiko, and you can see TheShy, as he's had to catch out mid lane, now has presented himself with a good flank angle, but he's going to be completely spotted every way in.
No more Chris face checking bushes. Saplings do it for you. Don't worry about it. As Dragon getting about half health here, you do have that flank from TheShy, but biggest importance, Nature Grass has been popped. Look at Rookie. He's looking for that angle. TheShy has the entire backline cornered. It's going to be taken by Jiejie. Now we get the Solar Flare that does go a bit wide. Top esports turning on TheShy. He a little bit too late that he was the target all along, and JackeyLove takes that kill, going straight to the Baron. Now goes top esports.
Big pick here. TheShy has been a very big threat in these team fights. Whilst his score may not look like it, he's constantly being a threat in these skirmishes. As the poke from Creme is massive.
Okay, they got the Tempered Fate out there. The shots from Jhin raining hell. Jiejie going in with a massive Cyclone combos, meaning that they don't really get anything for it. Between Worlds going to be popped by Rookie to get him out of there. So top esports, they stop doing the Baron to try to get a turn, don't get the turn, and then turn right back on the Baron.
They killed off Meiko, but now TheShy spawning in 15 seconds with teleport. If there's anything extra that IG can give, they might have been able to do something that wasn't. Gala turned his attention to the mid lane. He takes down a tier 2 as a form of a silver lining, but overall, it's top esports coming away with a Baron and an advantage. And the 50-50 here, it goes the way of Jiejie. Very solid stuff from the IG jungler to win out on that 50-50. And then he makes the call to try and fight, but it's top who call fast, call first, and they just CC TheShy into oblivion. Could not move this entire time.
And now we look back as the dust settles, 3 items being completed by majority members now as well. JackeyLove included, but we're going to be working on our 4th item for Creme. Again, though, we're in a situation where both teams wait for the timers of objectives to get big fights going. There's not going to be necessarily these big pick-off moments as long as people are playing with their right mind. And it's top esports that are going to try to make a move to take this outer tower and bot lane.
Yeah, so they've got still 4 turrets, which should be relatively easily accessible. We are 32 minutes into the game. They have a Baron at their backs, and these turrets should just absolutely topple over, right? Should be very quick, very easy for them to take down. And this is going to inject a lot more gold into top esports, where we're going to start hitting crucial breakpoints. Creme working on what could be a Shadow Flame, could be a Lichbane, could be Rabadons as well. All of these turrets going down are going to be important.
JackeyLove already lost a quarter of his health. TheShy finds him. JackeyLove, he didn't know that Rookie was coming from behind.
Got Creme as well.
Bloom is going rampant now, and Creme, he can't escape the fire. Gets one down, actually. Look at that Chaos Storm. It's doing so much work. He's going to survive for a little bit longer. It's still kicking, but it can't get the damage down. Now, Chris also going to try to get his glorious escape through his magical journey, but he gets a magical death. And now we have pings coming to the lanes. Kanavi was trying to push in mid lane, but IG needs to go recoup some of their sides.
Okay, and all of a sudden, again, a team with Baron ends up finding themselves caught out and losing out on the majority of their pushing power. IG this time pull the trigger in the bot lane, snap decision to go down into the bot side. They see that the Vi is mid lane, that there's actually nothing here for Kanavi to do, and JackeyLove, just a little bit caught out, gets taken down instantly. A great solar flare as well from Meiko. He catches out Creme, and it's a wonder that he actually finds anything in this fight at all.
Can't move. I can't believe he still gets a kill in that. Like, the fact he literally didn't have control of his champion for 95% of that.
Just 3 inputs, he gets the E. Oh, is Jiejie dead?
It almost dies. Ooh, deadly flares goes a little bit wide. He got the shots. Oh, he can't sneak it. Can't bend the bullet there. Ain't no wanted. As Meiko actually goes a little bit too ham. Oh, Between Worlds going to be popped. He's trying to get the damage, but JackeyLove actually getting chunked by Rookie. Kanavi was looking for a follow-up there. Dragon in a minute. Resets are going to have to come out. You saw 369 use that Nature's Grasp to maybe stop some of those from coming in immediately, and that'll be sole point for top esports in a denial of an Infernal Soul from IG.
I think there's still a world where we see IG try and fight for this. I don't think that those health bars are going to be recuperated in time. They'll be able to get back out onto the map, especially when they've got the crab down as well.
Jiejie got him.
He found the crab, so that's what he's dying for, and just barely able to get away. It's important as well. He saves Cyclone there, which is, he could have Cycloned and probably been fine way earlier, but he saves it because he knows he's going to need it for this fight.
You got about 20 seconds. You see the idea for IG is to move in from mid lane preemptively. Top esports trying to regain a little bit of control there as they move back as well. Didn't know if they maybe want to try to get a little bit more vision control over there. They do have one control ward out in front of the Dragon Pit. Now it is a little bit of a standoff in mid lane, so who gets that prio?
Yeah, Gala very strong on this Xayah. Level 17, 4.5 items already picked up versus the 3.5 for JackeyLove. He's only down 1 level now on the Jhin, but they've already started up this dragon.
Rookie is sneaking around. Solar Flare's going in. Kanavi is way too late, and that is an Infernal Soul. One is kicking off, though. They got the Chaos Storm growing, and they've got so much damage to boot. TheShy still going in all out on a Creme. TheShy trying to make the hero play, but he gets burned into oblivion. As now Gala, you were just talking about him, level 17, is putting the feathers in the back of top esports, but you still got that curtain call, and it's about curtains for IG as they are losing body after body and pride after pride. JackeyLove, the ace of top esports, is right back in action.
The sniper in the back comes up huge, and JackeyLove may have just signed this series over to top esports. 4 members barreling down mid lane. Only their jungler goes down, and this is a swift 2-0 that top will be happy to claim.
Super team this, super team that. Top esports has been a super team all along, rebuilding around this trio. 369, Creme, and JackeyLove. They have done their due diligence. They have shown up in their first best of. And Between Worlds from Rookie actually makes things a little dicey, but it's still going to be a 3-kill. 4 members are coming back up for IG, and even though top esports was so damn close, they will fall short just now.
A game-saving play from one of the LPL's all-time greatest mid laners keeps their Demacia Cup hopes alive. There's still a very long road to go, but with Infernal Soul in their backs, they should be going into these fights with the advantage.
We got to take a look back at this one. So it starts off with a massive solar flare there. Obviously, Meiko just kind of giving his life in the end. But it comes to a cool finish when old Rookie shows up.
It's so valuable that Meiko just gives his life like that. He buys probably 5 seconds, which is 5 seconds where top are not DPSing Nexus turrets, and gives time for Rookie to come back. They also get the Baron off of this. There's no way that Kanavi can get in there and get back out safely. So that's Baron secured.
Way.
IG have got Baron, they've got Soul, and they might have also found themselves in a little bit of trouble.
Meiko's definitely in trouble. He's writing home saying, guys, where are we at? And they are running. They are bolting down here to try to save him. They are just going to arrive as his body hits the floor.
Well, they need to run as well,
I don't know what they're doing. Kanavi's sticking around for way too long. Rookie claims that one, and now Jiejie will try to follow up. 369 and Chris making it out alive. Oh, Jiejie going a little bit too eager as JackeyLove and Creme have showed up. This is just a case of falling dominoes. The Chaos Storm isn't going to grow any larger. You did get a little bit of separation of the fight from TheShy using the all-out on 369. 369 gets a bramble smash kill onto TheShy. Imagine saying that here in 2024. And now Creme is the front and center member of Top Esports.
But again, they get the Baron and then they die. This has happened in all 3 Barons that we've seen so far for this game, Mazel. Whoever gets the Baron seems to be cursed to immediately fall down straight afterwards. The beauty of this for IG specifically is there's still going to be time for them to use their Baron on the map. Still 90 seconds of it, they're going to have 30 or so where TheShy's still dead, but he can TP back out onto the map. They can be doing their work early on, getting those waves set up, and then TheShy should TP immediately join them to try and get some work done with this Baron. The metronome, it keeps on swinging, Mazel, back and forth. There's no way of knowing who's coming out on top.
That is a wild way to be. And honestly, a little bit of stoicism by IG in their final moments. You know, Rookie being able to show up and save the day with Meiko. Really nice to see. And now they actually have a potential to push the pressure onto Top Esports. The only thing is one false slip, one wrong move, and it's a little bit over.
Yeah, the question that you have to sort of conduct as IG is how many TPs can they get into our base, sort of how quickly? And you'd like to think that they've swept their base thoroughly. They know there are no wards in there, so 369 and Creme can't get into that base quite as quickly as, you know, they'd need to just backdoor. But you need to make sure that, for example, Kanavi is always on vision, because if Kanavi and Crisp make a duo effort, make a beeline for that, they can put a ward down. They can get double TPs in to the base, and all of a sudden, 4 people are in your base, and you can see the missing pings on the map. They're scared about this. They don't know who's where, and they're terrified of TP plays.
They absolutely are. You have to be. I mean, you have to be so worried about all the avenues that could be possibly ending your run at the Demacia Cup. And again, you can't shy away from the fact that we do have this IG super team that is very much has a lot of eyes on it, at least, and trying to find as many performances from this team as we can. I mean, it is a team that has come on interviews and said, you know, they are here to try to re-represent this star on their chest, at least Rookie and TheShy coming back to the organization that they won their world championship on. And you want to try to get as far in Demacia Cup as you possibly can. Rookie maybe not going to get too far here, though. If Kanavi catches him out, there's the TP play. He's trying to get to the other side. He does. He gets the exit, hops and skips his way to safety.
But now TheShy's in trouble as well.
TheShy overcommitting for his world championship friend. He's going to flash away. No way! JackeyLove bends the bullet and finds the heart of IG. Kanavi going down low as he's going to hit his GA now. 369 is trying to find Gala. Creme can't really get any more damage down, but finding a way anyways. JackeyLove is up there, stepping too close up to the front though. Gala, he's the only damage left. He's trying to flash away. 4th shot, and JackeyLove put the bullet through the bird's heart, and that's Top Esports going for the win.
And this time, Top will take the victory. Inhibitor, then Nexus. The path to the semi-finals has never been clearer. And JackeyLove, with a bolt from the blue, seals the game.
JackeyLove getting focused now. Meiko trying to do his darndest here. No way. Top Esports gets stopped again. Meiko finally falls. If there is one thing that remains the truth in all things that is Top Esports, it's that JackeyLove is deadly.
Oh my word. Just through every single target that you could conceivably hit with that bullet, JackeyLove finds Rookie. And it could have been so easy to think, oh, I'll just hit frontline. We'll take down TheShy and we'll see what happens. No, he knows Rookie is up for grabs and he spots it, finds it, and seals the win for Top Esport. Absolutely.
Wow.
Just quintessential JackeyLove moment.
I mean, honestly, it really is. This Top Esports team has got me hyped already. We're in Demacia. We haven't even hit the next year yet. And the ceiling is sky high. I do feel for IG, obviously trying to put together a strong performance with this roster. I have no doubt that they'll find a lot of success next year. But, man, Top Esports coming to their first best of here at Demacia Cup and laying down the hammer. And it came off the back of multiple avenues.
Absolutely, and I think that if you take that game on its own and put that into a best of 5 series, that everybody's eating that up. That's like finals material, right? Like that is absolutely top-notch quality from really both sides. There were a couple of small mistakes being made around objectives, but overall, you're getting solid fights around objectives. You're getting these exquisite team fights where it is one missed auto is deciding the difference between all of how the team fight plays out. One missed skill shot, and Crisp as well. We were highlighting sort of really not quite nailing the tempered fates to begin with. The fights they started winning, key targets started to be picked up, or it was at least burning summoner spells, right? Gala played with Flash, Cleanse, and his ulti during that game, and every single time you're tempered fating the Xayah, that's ulti burned. Okay, now we've got another tool, and all of these small things that at the time are just good outplays, if you extend those out into a full game, into a full series of a best of 5, it's the type of content that people are going to flock towards.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch so many of the games between these two orgs, and I hope we get to see some more in the near future as well in 2025. But my God, it already